I just told Scarlett this morning that I was thinking about going to the girl who cut your hair to get a really layered haircut, but I don't want to spend that money. I don't want to spend that money.
It's worth it.
How much did you pay?
$3 something.
Oh, Jesus. $3 something for just a haircut?
Can't do that.
$350.
Wait a minute, $350 for a haircut?
Yeah.
I'm not.
No color or anything.
She's like the best in the game.
I don't care how good you are.
Kenny's drinking coffee,
$350
guys.
for a haircut.
Brandon, why do you act like everything I do isn't in character? You don't live with me. You don't know what I do every day.
Because you're just so different from how you were 2 years ago. So it's so funny.
Okay, that's what happens. People change.
She is different, but she's also not.
He's been doing this for like years now. Every time I drink coffee, he's like, I can't believe Kennedy's drinking coffee.
She's always drank coffee. She's always liked it.
Are we live?
I have taken the reins to plan this episode.
Oh my God.
Because,
This is rare. I'm impressed. I'm actually really happy
listen,
you did this.
I was watching.
Good job.
I was watching last week's, and in the beginning, I was just like,
It sucked.
no one cares about horoscopes. Our horoscopes.
didn't
I thought you
watch
guys
it.
were gonna like horoscopes. You're all girls.
No, I
watched
watched it, and it got interesting once we started talking about everything except that. And Jesse agreed with me because he was listening while we were driving while listening. And it got so interesting once we got into our own conversations. And I was like, see, it doesn't need to be that structured in the sense of like, we need a specific topic. We just need to talk about
I think it
things
would
that
have
are
been good if the
entertaining.
horoscopes would have actually been like horoscopes.
No, nobody cares about
Not-
other people reading their horoscopes.
No, but it was like the planet was aligning with this and this was aligning with that. And then he talked about Claudia's closet and stuff. Or garage. Like, what the hell?
I don't even remember. I was so focused on my AC.
Oh, yeah. Kenny was in a horrible mood
yeah,
because she was melting.
Candy was miserable last week. How's your AC, by the way? Did it get fixed?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but
Now
good.
She's nice and
freaking-
cool.
That
It was-
apartment is ice cold.
it was broken for 4 days and it was 90 degrees in here.
Yeah. At first, I was thinking you were wearing the bandana because you were like sweating, and so the sweat didn't get in your eyes during the podcast. But now I know it's just fashion. So I'm gonna start wearing it too.
You see my feet.
Like, remember when I dyed my hair right after Kenny did it, and everyone thought I dyed my hair because of
Yes,
Kennedy?
because
I'm
Brandon
gonna start wearing the
literally.
bandana,
Oh,
too.
Brandon. Also, who started their YouTube channel after they saw mine being successful?
Yeah, because I was like, I actually was talking to Kate about this recently. I remember being, how old were you when you started
18.
it? Like 16?
18.
18. So I was what, 23, and I had a normal job. And I remember Kennedy I had a job at the time, so I felt so good. I was like, oh, I'm getting a salary. Like, I was getting like decent money. And I remember Kennedy got her first AdSense check. Can I tell it?
Well,
say how
the
much it was?
first one
Doesn't
was
matter.
the first one was 5,000.
I thought it was 15.
No, that was like
That was like the second one.
that was a couple months
Anyway.
in.
My 18-year-old sister, little 18-year-old sister, gets like a check for like 15K in the mail, and I'm like,
I know.
what is my life?
I literally was
Like,
like, I hate myself.
Yeah, I was questioning everything. I was like, what the am I doing?
I was working at a restaurant, okay? If I made $300 that weekend, it was like
Okay, well, can I
gold.
also say
I
that
struck gold.
I never had money my whole life. Obviously, we didn't have money our whole life. And when I got that, it didn't feel real. I was just looking at a number and I was like this
It's
was
actually the, like,
3
craziest
months ago.
feeling.
3 months before that, Brandon, I literally had a tab running with Brandon where he would buy me things that I needed. And I would just be like, I'll pay you back once I start making money from YouTube, because I knew I was going to start making
Well,
money.
you know
at some
what's
point.
messed up?
She did,
like,
though.
really pissed me off is that we worked a straight year on the body paint
yeah.
channel and we made not one penny.
No, we literally worked a year.
And we got millions of views on the videos. Like, what?
We worked a year. I was paying for travel. We were traveling around everywhere. You and Kendi were painting people. We made
Working our asses off.
$0.
You probably
Zero.
lost money.
And then Kendi posts like 2 videos and makes like tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm like,
now people
okay.
watching are going to say, why did they make $0?
well, because Instagram wasn't monetizing like that at that time.
And YouTube
TikTok
had
wasn't a-
issues.
Can I just
thing,
also say,
really.
I do not make that kind of money, not even close to that kind of money from YouTube anymore. I don't want people to think I'm making that because I'm not.
I just think it's crazy. Either way, I think it's crazy. That's when you're 18, that's literally like winning the lottery, going from
Oh my God, yeah.
literally $0 to 15K.
Right.
And that was in
I remember-
a month.
Yeah, no one
YouTube pays you every
understands.
month.
When
That's how I felt when I looked at my first OnlyFans
when
check.
I used to go into Urban Outfitters and battle with myself over buying a $30 top. And then I remember after I got that first AdSense check, which I think was like $5,000, which was insane to me. I went to Urban Outfitters and got like an $80 jacket. And I was just thinking to myself, like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember you two used to go into Urban Outfitters and Kennedy would spend like, I'd be looking at her like, you're getting all that? And then she'd leave like $500 later.
Well, we grew
I know.
up literally.
I know.
After
Trust
you
me,
guys
that's
got
why-
divorced, we grew up
Yeah.
with no money.
Yeah.
So I don't even know, how did we even get like clothes and stuff?
I had to take you to
Goodwill?
Goodwill.
Well, I remember we would go to Goodwill when we were younger, but Pop-Up bought us a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. And I remember I started working when I was 14. So from the minute I started making money, that's what I would buy like food, and like I guess sometimes if I had money I would buy clothes. But like I remember I'd go to the mall with my friends in high school and their parents would give them like $100 to buy some new clothes, and I like didn't even have 10. So I would just be like, I have no money. I would just go and like maybe buy like a $5 pair.
It was
of
bad
earrings.
at
What
one
job
point.
did you have at 14?
I worked at the frozen yogurt place.
Oh, yeah.
It closed down. I rember I would visit
You
I
spoon.
would come there. Yeah, I would come there and she would be working. It was so
I would
funny.
I would do that. Then I worked at a pizza
Pizza.
place.
Yep.
I babysat.
And then you did
Then
hostess and then waitress and then
Hostess,
more
waitress,
babysitting.
more nannying type.
You were always working on
style.
something. You're definitely a hard worker.
Because I always wanted money, and I
Yeah.
told myself, I will never. No offense, Mom, but I will
That's
never.
fine.
Mom told me always have your own money, and I didn't want to ever struggle like Mom did because it was horrible.
And I would say to you guys, make sure you have your own money. Save your money. Make sure you have your own money.
Especially before you have kids.
I learned,
Especially.
luckily, I learned from what Mom had to go through.
Yeah, I remember when it was so bad that we couldn't, like, it was so bad that we would go into the dollar store. I would have $10. I would give you each $2 and say, go pick 2 things out. And the rest I would just spend with the $10. And that was our food for like the week.
It's,
and
like,
then
insane.
I had to apply for food stamps. And do you remember going into the grocery store for the first time in a while?
Yeah.
I got like a $500 food stamp card. And I was like, go ahead, guys, get anything you want. You looked at me and you're like, anything? And I'm like, as long as you can carry it in your arms, you can throw it in the cart. And Kenny was so little, like wobbling, following you too. And she has all these like
I feel like
items in her. Like,
I feel like
there
we've
wasn't a
told
lot,
this.
but she's like, they're all falling out.
I feel like we told
What?
this
We
story.
haven't told this.
No, we've told it. I feel like we told it several times in a video and on.
In different ways.
In different ways.
Yeah, but
In
still,
different
there's plenty
ways.
of people that probably haven't heard it.
I don't know,
Yeah, there's definitely
I remember
people that haven't
being
heard
so
that.
excited every month when the food stamp money
know,
would
we'd be
come
like,
in.
oh my God.
check it,
Because we would always exhaust it like halfway through the
Yeah.
month. And I'm like, when it would come in, like you would check and you'd be like, oh, we got it. And we were
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Let's go to the grocery
We can order
store.
pizza now.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, you guys would get cookies and like Capri Sun and stuff. That you're like, can we have this? I'm
Capri
like, yeah.
Sun, getting a Capri Sun was literally like food royalty for us. Like
Yeah.
if we got Capri Sun, it was the coolest shit in the world.
Oh, I remember coming back from school a few times and you would like stock the closet with stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would open it and be like, oh,
Yeah, I would
Okay,
hear
but
you come
wait.
through the door and be like, yes.
How about the time when I don't know what you did, Mom, to do this? Mom got us a year's worth of Sunkissed. That
Oh,
orange
that-
soda. Do
No,
you
my-
remember? It was
Oh, yeah.
stacked.
My
It wasn't
friends had a
Sunkissed.
modeling company.
It wasn't Sunkissed, Claudia. It was Orange Crush soda.
it was.
I
No,
think.
it was definitely Sunkissed.
No, it was
She
soda.
had I worked for a modeling company and she was going to throw it away. It was like one
but
of the
isn't
sponsors that
Sunkist
gave her
orange
all of
soda?
it. I can't remember.
No,
what it was.
Sunkist is orange
But she's like, do you
juice.
want this? I don't know. I
I
don't
think it
remember.
was Sunkist.
I don't know. It was one of those brands, but like by the time we got to the end of it, I was so sick of looking at these cans.
It's so much of it.
I never wanted
It
it
was
again.
great though. She was like delivered it, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much.
It
She's
was
like, well, I know
so
you've got
much.
kids, and they'd probably love this. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
It
all of
shows
our
how much
teeth
better
out.
something is when you don't have like unlimited of it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh, you're right, Claudia.
We get like unlimited energy drinks and and they're not even like fun to drink anymore.
Where do you look it up? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
The trauma of that can.
That's all. We drink more of that than water.
Literally. And it has probably had so much sugar.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we
Oh
used
my
to go
God.
to Burger
You know what
King?
I just remembered? Do you remember when I would turn on the light in the pantry and have a meeting in there by myself? I would call it something.
No.
I don't remember that.
You
I
not
don't know.
not
That's
none
a
of
little
you,
weird.
Brandon. You have to remember that because you would. I feel like you were somehow involved in it. Like it would be
You
called
would have
something.
a meeting with yourself in the closet.
Yeah, I would turn on the light.
I
and
do remember trying to trap you guys in there a few times.
A meeting for what though?
No, it was just when I was a kid. I would have like a meeting with my imaginary friends or something. I would call it something.
I feel like,
Brandon, do you remember the orange soda man?
oh my God. Do you remember him, Mom? You took us there.
What? Who was
No,
that?
it might have
I don't
been
know.
Dad taking
No, it was
us.
Mom when we were homeschooled.
We would go to Burger King,
Oh yeah.
and this man would come in with
Oh
an
my God.
extra large cup, and he
And
would
sit
fill it
there,
with
yeah.
orange soda like multiple times while sitting there in this Burger
Yeah,
King.
and we would pull up and I'd say, "Oh my God, The orange man's there.
The orange
and you
soda
guys would
man.
look through the window. We would just like stare at him and watch him just drinking it.
I must have not been
It's like
alive.
a huge cup. No, you were alive. You just probably were a
You
baby.
were like a baby. He would just drink it and get free refills all day. The man would sit there all day and just
I don't
drink.
understand how he
Actually
drank.
so
He's
weird
probably
and
not even
gross.
alive from that now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people eat like drink like and
Yeah,
they
I
live
know.
forever. Like
Yep.
they're just lucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't get
it's
it.
True.
It is true.
Also, a lot of people have babies and they just look perfect.
Anyway.
Yeah, Claudia, just go into your thing. Oh,
So I didn't like plan anything super, you know, like specific topics, but I just like planned questions and things we haven't talked about on here. So we already kind of talked about current events. I feel like we should always start every episode now with like current events of things like that we're doing, that we have done. Does anybody have anything they want to share that they did this past weekend? Or
We
since the
partied
last
our asses
episode?
off is what we did.
Oh, I have a story. But before we go into this story about this weekend, because it's
Yeah.
actually really funny, you go first. If you have something shorter you want to share.
Oh, I don't.
You don't?
I cut my hair. That's about it.
Well, you went to New York to see Kennedy.
Yeah, we went to New York. We just had like a fun packed weekend. Actually, I do have a funny story. This is entertaining. I'll tell you. I told Kennedy already about this, but so Jesse lives by a lake, and it's like a really pretty private lake that has like restaurants and ice cream shops.
You mean
like
his parents do?
Yeah, his parents do in Sparta in New Jersey, where he's from. And whenever we go there, we go to the lake because it's just like super nice to sit. It's like relaxing. It has a boardwalk. So we went and got some food and we went and sat down by the dock and we're just like watching the lake. It was super peaceful. The sun was setting. And I literally have a video of it too because we're sitting there and I set up my camera because I was filming like a little TikTok vlog. And it's like so quiet. And all of a sudden you hear this big plop in the water. And all of a sudden you hear... And it's this like 3-foot remote control speedboat that this grown man is leaning up against the dock like this, like on his little remote control thing, like whipping this thing around. Like you're not even supposed to go this fast on a regular boat, but he was like, this thing was probably going at least 30 miles per hour in this little area in front of us. And it was like splashing water up and like whatever. And at first I was like, oh, this thing is cool. But then I started to be like, all right, well, we're trying to like sit here and relax and like have like a nice little date night type of thing. And this guy's like completely ruining it. And like other families were around eating dinner and like it was so loud. And we're sitting there and he's still doing it. All of a sudden this other guy walks up to him and he goes, hey man, like you can't do that here. And the guy doesn't even look at him. He goes, sure I can, as he still keeps steering the thing around full speed. And he's like, no, like you can't do that here. And the guy starts, so we'll call the guy steering the boat, I'm gonna call him Boatman, and then the other guy, I'll call him other guy. So the other guy goes up and he's like he started getting closer and he's like, you can't do that here. Like this is a private lake. You're ruining people's dinners. Like you're not even supposed to have that. There's people fishing. And he's like zooming it around. And I will say, like, me and Jesse had our legs kind of like hanging over the side. And if that thing, it was like, it was catching air. And if it would have like came up, the front of it was really pointy. It could have like impaled me.
Jesus.
So he's like, this guy's like arguing with him. And then like the guy's completely ignoring him. Boat guy's completely ignoring him, still steering it, saying, yes, I can do what I want, ignoring him, whatever. Literally a grown man acting like a child. The other guy gets his phone out. He starts recording him and he's like, this guy doesn't want to listen. He's playing with his children's toy. This is a kid's toy. What are you, a kid? Are you going to go to the candy store after you're done playing with your kid's toy?
Oh my God.
Lighting him up. He like wouldn't. It was honestly, me and Jesse are
That is
over
so
in the
Jersey
corner.
for you.
We're over in the corner, like cracking up. This other woman comes over and she's like, you just cut our fishing line because you drove your boat over it. People are like hating this guy. Finally, he like, I guess gets pissed off because like this guy won't leave him alone. And he has to like bend over like in shame and bring his boat out of the water. He's holding it under his arm like this and walks away with it. And the guy walks to go back to like his family. And Jesse's like, thanks, man. Because like it was like disturbing us too. And he starts laughing. He's like, man, you guys are this is adorable what you're doing right here. And he was ruining it. And I was like, yeah, like he was. And he was cracking up and he was like, you can't do that here. Like he was honestly like a really cool guy. And he
That
was
would
like,
make a good TikTok.
he was like, I'm
for
trying
him.
to have dinner with my wife and kids. And he's ruining it with that noise.
So was it a restaurant?
It's like basically like a little boardwalk with a dock that goes long ways, like down with, there's like boats lined up and there's a bunch of restaurants and
Kinda
like
like a
different
boardwalk?
things. Yeah, so like people are sitting at tables on the board. It's like a more private, quiet boardwalk, but it's a
hilarious.
private lake, so you have to have a membership to be on it, which obviously Jesse and I didn't, but we're not bothering anyone. But it was just so funny, and the guy like left and that was it. But it's funny because I have the video of us sitting there and it's peaceful, and then all of a sudden you hear it's like the funniest video because we're like silent, and then it just, but yeah, that was like our entertainment for the weekend. It was hilarious.
That's great. We were entertained too.
Do you have anything, Kennedy?
No, I don't have any funny stories.
What have you been doing with your life?
We've just been hanging out.
Been doing what?
Hanging out. That's
Enjoying
it.
her air conditioning.
Yeah, like
What does
I don't.
hanging out mean?
Do I need to give you
Scrabble.
a play
She's
by
just
play
happy
of what
she's
my
air
day
conditioned.
is?
Yes, I want to hear your days from start to finish. Start when you
well,
wake
no.
up. 12.
Oh, I know what happened for her. She left her eggs and bacon out, and her cat ate it and threw up.
Oh, that's cool.
No, don't say that. It makes me seem
So
like
bad for them.
makes me seem like a bad parent.
No, it doesn't.
No, it sounds
left
like you
the
have a little
pan-
fat, greedy cat.
I left a pan of eggs sitting there that had a little bit of eggs left over in it because we wanted to eat our breakfast before we cleaned up. And of course, Percy, the second there's food left on the table, he goes and eats it. And then an hour
he's a
later
fat
threw
little
up,
boy.
and I'm cleaning his throw up, and there's little pieces of eggs and a little piece of bacon in it.
He has a sensitive stomach.
You will know.
Okay, let me play before we get into our story, Mom. Let me play this thing from JFK, and I want you to tell me what you think would happen if a modern president gave this speech. Okay,
God.
please play.
Make sure you
No.
Nothing, I think, more unfortunate than to have soft, chubby, fat-looking children. I hope that all of you will join, and everybody in the United States, to make sure that our children participate fully in a vigorous and adventurous life which is possible for them in this very rich country of ours.
Anyway, imagine if a president said that. Wait, let me just play the beginning part one more time. Hold on.
This footage is from soft, chubby. There's nothing, I think, more unfortunate than to have soft, chubby, fat-looking children. I hope that all of you will join, and everybody in the United States.
I thought it was
First of
AI
all-
at first, but I actually think it's real.
That's such a weird like description. Like, why did he
Also,
say it like
what do you
that?
mean
It
if
just shows-
Brandon, what do you mean if a modern president, Trump has said things 10 times worse than that?
Yeah, he has.
I don't think he said
He
something like
definitely
that.
has. No, he said worse.
He's literally,
It's-
yes, he has.
It's
He
like
definitely has.
it's the,
Oh my God.
the weird way he described that.
I don't think he meant it in like a bad way, though. I think it's the way that people spoke back then.
Well, he was a very good president. People loved him.
Well, he's just trying to make people healthy. It's
I
just
mean,
the way
the
he said it
first
could
part,
be taken
the
wrong.
first part he could have left out, but I think he's saying that yes, children should have the opportunity to live like a rigorous, whatever, adventure-filled life. That's
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah, he just started it with like an attention grabber, man. That's definitely an attention grabber.
Odd.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway. So I vlogged for the first time in like 1 or 2 months. I do it randomly when I feel like it because we got my friend Vinoda. He has like clubs in DC basically. So it was like me, my mom, Dakota, Nick, Cory, and Kate. And we went to
what a team.
this club event that was like outside on this rooftop that was like right next to the Capitol building in DC. But Mom, tell what
my
happened.
God.
Because
Literally, as soon as we got there, it all started. We had to go to the bathroom because it's like over an hour drive. So me and Kate go in first. Dakota goes in after us. And Kate and I, the bathroom was so crowded with like girls in the mirror, young. Like we looked at each other, we're like, oh my God, they must be like 20 years old. But you have to be 21. It felt like they were 18 with fake IDs. Anyway, so we go out and we're like, we had to get out of there. It was too loud. And we're waiting for Dakota, and me and Kate are talking. And then this young girl comes right up to me and looks me right in the face. Like she's like so close. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, she's like, you are hot. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then she goes on to the bathroom but she was like staring at me for a while. Like I was getting uncomfortable. And then she goes to the bathroom, and Dakota was on her way out of the bathroom. She opens the door, tries to pull the door. The girls go in the opposite direction. And Dakota said she's pulling it. And the girl's like finally, and Dakota pulls it hard enough. And the girl looks at her and she goes, I forget what she said to her with the same thing. She was like, oh my God. And Dakota thought she was starting a fight with her. And then she was like, you are hot. And she said it to Dakota too, and did not know we were together or anything. So then she comes out and she tells me this girl opened the door. I'm like, oh my God, that girl did that to me. Except I didn't have to open a door. So we go out to get our table. Place is packed. I don't know how this girl found us. She had scopes on or something. I do not know.
Where were you when this happened?
We were on the rooftop
We were at
of
a
one of
club.
the buildings in DC.
It was like a special event on a rooftop.
How old was she?
Well, we didn't know how old she was yet.
Yeah, they didn't know yet.
We didn't know
she
yet.
Looked young.
Yeah, she looked young. I did ask her. She's 21.
Okay.
But yeah. And she very pretty girl and very obviously outgoing girl. And Dakota and I were in this corner. I mean, this place is packed.
Well, this place is like sardine can packed.
I do not know how she found us.
We had a table like on the wall, so we were like kind of separated from people a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how she found you. You were separated.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were standing, but still, it was still crowded even where we were. And then she passes by and Dakota goes, oh my God, don't make eye contact. Do not make eye contact. She's coming. And so we're looking around, and next thing we know, we turn around. She's literally standing next to us. She comes over the rope, walks over the rope, and she's like literally next to Dakota, talking to us. She's like, oh my God. So then she realized we were together. She starts saying all kinds of stuff. Brandon got everything on camera, but she's like, do you guys need a third? Do you want a third? And Dakota's like, no, we don't. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm a little bit too old for you. Well, she saw us standing there, obvious. Oh, she asked Dakota, are you guys partners? Are you guys together? And then, you know, she likes girls, obviously. But we were like,
and then the other, and then she did both at the same time.
Right. It was bizarre. And she goes, I said, what made you come up to us? And she said, you have a high vibration. Remember I was telling you this the other day? I could feel your high vibration. So it's a thing. And she goes, you guys have so much positivity oozing out of you. And I was like, all right, that's cool, I guess. So I looked at Dakota and we were like, oh my. So then she goes, okay, I'm not going to bother you anymore. She left. She ends up coming back. And hanging out with us more and doing, I think, a shot with us or something. I don't remember at that point. She just was literally like not leaving us until she left at the place.
What did she ask you for though?
She got my Jen the Body Painter Instagram.
What did she ask you before that?
What?
Remember what she asked you?
No, whoops, I was drunk.
She asked you and Dakota if you wanted to have a threesome.
I said that.
Oh, you did?
I said that. I said to you, can she be a third? And well, she kept asking. Then when she realized she's not doing that, she goes, well, okay, I won't. We don't have to do that. How about dinner? Can we have dinner? And we were like, oh, you know. Yeah, like,
You're
I don't know.
persistent.
Dakota's like, here, just follow Jen the Body Painter and blah, blah. And then she made sure that like I followed her back. And then she messaged me and she's been messaging me since.
Oh my God.
This is so crazy because we were talking about it on the drive back, how you're literally like over double her age.
Right.
She's 21.
She thought I was 35
so
or something.
double her age is 42. You're in your 50s. And your daughter, you have a daughter who's 23, who's older than her.
I said that to her. I said, you know what? You're actually younger than my youngest. And she was like, how old are you? And I said, I'm 55. And she's like, oh, I thought you were 30.
What was her expression when you said that? Like, that's my son. When you told her.
She was freaking out. Yeah.
I mean, that should be a compliment for you, Mom.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like no matter what, nobody should be persistent like that when you can clearly tell someone's not interested.
Yeah, it seems a little bit
There
odd.
was something like even Dakota said, like looking at her because she's so pretty and like her skin's so perfect and her eyes are just, everything was just so, but then we were just staring at her like, is this girl for real? Like, I'm like, what are her intentions? Does she just think I'm older than I am?
I think
and she
she's
just
an older
needs
woman. She was
her mother.
Everyone there was like pretty young. I would say like I would say
no, they're very young.
The average age was probably like 23.
Well, yeah, and she's best friends with her dad, so they get along. Her dad, but she's from Nashville, and she's just, you know, she's like, I'm bored. I've said it's Washington D.C. How can you be bored?
Well, if she's
like,
bored, she should move.
Here.
I know.
She can't. She's going to school there.
I could see how D.C. would be boring.
She's extremely
Maybe
smart.
she's having trouble finding a deeper relationship.
She is very smart. You can tell how intelligent she is. So I don't know.
What an interesting person.
Sounds like the start to a scary movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, she becomes obsessed with you.
She still wants to have dinner, but like Dakota's like, I don't think that's a
Mom,
good idea.
no. Mom, no.
Well, that's a situation that like derails into like something, and all of a sudden you're in a relationship with a 21-year-old. And you're
But
like,
she does want to be a body paint model because she said, I'm a model.
No, she wants to do anything. It sounds like
she'd be perfect for when we did like videos all the time. She'd be one of those girls that would show up and for us and let us do it.
Keep your distance. That sounds like the best option.
I'm just going to talk.
Mom's just too nice. Mom will talk to anyone.
I know. I'm the opposite. I won't talk to anyone.
Kenny, you're super.
Yes, you're
lies.
You're much better than
when
you
we're
were
out in New York. She'll like compliment people and like talk to people.
Yeah, but that's different than giving someone like your personal attention.
Oh, you mean?
She's not,
you mean like invest time into them?
She's not DMing random people that she meets.
Yeah, no, I'm super skeptical about literally everybody, especially just like I don't care, woman, man, whoever, because there's so many evil people in this world, narcissistic people. Me and Scarlett were just talking about this, how the older you get, the more you realize how many people have narcissistic traits. And it's like,
yes, a lot.
You just want to like retreat. And that's pretty much what I do. I have a small group of friends. I hang out with them. And if they're busy, I spend time alone.
I find that like more people than not have so much damage from their childhood and growing up. And it always explains like who they are now.
Yeah.
And it's actually just like, it's horrible and it's sad, but it's crazy like how much of a pattern it is in like people our age now, that they all have whatever they went through as like a younger human. They have like these lifelong, I guess, like traumas to deal with.
And the world now is making it worse for them.
I was talking to Kate about this. Like, a good friend is somebody that you can have a conversation with without having any kind of filter. So like you're not like holding yourself back from saying certain things,
and also
being scared about how they're going to react to it.
I need like long periods of silence throughout the day to like recuperate, and I get exhausted and I just want to like be inside myself and not have to like project and be external or whatever. And like all of my friends, I feel like I can do that with, because they're all similar to me in the sense where we can just like do nothing together. Like that's really important to me. If we can't do nothing together, then I don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah, hanging out isn't like taxing on you.
You shouldn't be drained.
Have to be like entertaining.
You shouldn't be drained after spending time with someone.
Jesse and I sometimes will be laying there, and like everybody has the times where they like just want to be like on your phone or in your own head and like relaxing. And sometimes we'll do that, and like 2 hours go by, and I look over and I'm like,
yeah, me and Scarlett will.
What are you doing?
Me and Scarlett will do that, and then it's fun because we can do that, and then like, and then we both feel like we like recharged, and then we look up and we're like, okay, what do we want to do now?
Yeah, it's like once you're done with like your social battery recharging, you're like ready to talk and like hang out again. But it's so nice because it's like everyone needs that.
That's an introvert thing.
I'll talk to myself.
I know, Mom. I know.
Oh no! I've been in the car with Mom before.
I've
been in the car with Mom before. Where in my head, this is probably mostly happens when I'm in like a bad mood and I don't feel like talking. But we could be driving for an hour. I will be silent the entire hour. Mom will have conversations with herself, and I'll be thinking in my head like, I'm not going to respond and see if she keeps talking, and she will.
No, I know.
And I do.
Same. Like we drove 3 hours to the beach once, and I think I like started falling asleep, and I'm like half asleep, and Mom's still talking. I feel like just talking nonstop.
It's like awkward silence makes me feel nervous.
You know what's funny, Mom?
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You know what's funny though is Yesley is like that.
I don't like it.
Like she doesn't like she's the type to try to fill up silences, and she'll say that about herself too. But like I see that in you too.
But do you feel like you need to talk, or you just do it naturally?
No. I think
I guess that would be a need.
So like
that's a need. Doing it naturally is a need.
But will you be thinking like, what should I say next?
No.
Oh
no.
That's what I mean.
No.
Mom just is the type of person who always says something. I just like that's why people naturally gravitate towards you too and talk to you, because it's like it is an energy that you have. You have this open energy, and like I know I don't have that. Yeah,
that's like Devor's like that.
Yeah, that's why me and Dev can talk for hours.
Yeah,
hours and hours, and we're not tired.
But that's like, I feel like why I balance with her, and it's kind of similar with Jesse, although Jesse definitely, I mean, me and Dev have our moments where we can be silent together too, but I feel like that's why we get along so well, because I can like sit and listen, and sometimes I don't even realize that I'm like responding to people in my head and I won't even be answering.
Yeah, Claudia's definitely the type to be. I've had many moments with Claudia too where I'm the only one talking and she's not saying anything, and I'm having conversations with myself.
Because in my head I'm like answering you and listening, but like I'm just not speaking. I don't know.
Dakota's quiet like that. She's gotten better. I used to get mad at her when she wouldn't talk. I'd be like, "Are you listening to what I'm saying?" It's like she doesn't respond.
Said that.
Now she's now she responds.
I would say that too. You. And I'm like,
I would say that too. I'd be like, I know it's annoying when I'm talking to her and she just like, or like mumbles a response.
It depends on our mood.
That's the thing, though. I'm always listening. It's just like if I don't have a lot of energy, or like I'm just kind of like driving or something. I'm just sitting there
but you're not being
to, like, whatever you're not saying,
being,
but I'm not.
I also think people have different modes. Like
yeah, I'm just like a quiet listener.
Well, people have different modes. It's like when you go out and you know you're about to go out, you kind of like go into party mode. And then when you're like calm during the day or doing your normal routine,
I don't really do that
mode.
though, Brandon.
And maybe you're in like focus mode when you're filming a TikTok. I know you don't, Kennedy. But it's you're like different though.
If I know I'm going to a social setting, I'm either excited or I'm like, I'd rather be staying home, but let's just get this over with.
Then why go if you're like, oh, I'd rather be staying home?
Most of the time I don't.
Why even go?
Because she might end up waking up from it. She might be okay.
I don't think Kennedy ever even puts herself in those situations where she's uncomfortable at a party type situation. She just won't go. She'll be like, I don't feel like going. Yeah.
I will say, if I have like an energy drink, if I have like an Alani, I start talking so much faster and more. I think it's because
but it's like a lot of talking and then you crash.
I'm like,
and you're silent.
I'll be at the gym with Dev, and like the minute I get halfway through my drink, I'm like, I feel like I'm rambling and I like can't stop.
Somebody gave me advice a long time ago when you kids were little, and it really works. And people who have kids out there, if you're trying to communicate with your kids, if they are not having a conversation back with you, like you say one thing, they say the next thing, you say one thing, they say the next thing. You could say two things. They have to say one thing. If it's not going back and forth, they're not listening.
No,
they're a kid.
It's not happening. So don't. Yeah, but I used to before that just talk. My parents, my dad, talk. I'm like, I want to go back in time and go, Dad, I wasn't even like saying anything back to the stuff you're saying. Did you think I was listening? But apparently some of it does stick into the brain. So I guess if you talk enough, my dad used to say, if you throw enough shit against the wall, some will stick.
Mom, do you remember when you used to call me olive oil? I was telling Scarlett about that.
I remember that.
I know. I was like,
that's so mean.
It's not right.
No,
Claudia was there.
It's a
no,
compliment.
it wasn't.
No, it's
Everybody
not.
made fun of me. Everybody.
Have you seen olive oil?
I thought it's like
First of all, why did
a model cartoon.
Listen,
she's
like
hunched over like this.
Wait, let me look
Mom
her
would
up.
Let her talk.
She would say that I was so lanky and skinny that I looked like the cartoon character Olive Oil. So she would call me Olive Oil, which was a soft spot too, because she would have to put olive oil on my head because I had psoriasis.
Oh, I didn't say it because of that.
Oh, Mom.
I said it because she was tall and lanky. That's the only reason.
Growing up with, I know what it looks
You're not
like.
gonna be able to see that.
With
Sorry,
Mom.
Yeah,
with what? I was about to French fry.
I brought that up too.
That's because I said you eat so many French fries, you're going to turn into one. You are what you eat.
Yeah, so Mom called me that.
That's actually funny.
They made fun of me for being skinny and having a skin mole. Everybody, I literally hated my body growing up. And I know it sounds...
Oh my God, your body, I knew your body was going to be
my whole
perfect.
life. And that's like the social standard or whatever, or societal standard. But I genuinely hated how skinny I was. And I know Claudia relates, but like I wasn't only just the skinny girl. I also had glasses and also a severe skin condition that covered my entire body and head. So like I could see how that would make you feel weird, but like the skinny part, no. You're just a tall, skinny little puppy that needed to fill in.
I think we all have. Did you get it for being
tall,
skinny?
Skinny puppies.
Yeah, I got called anorexic all the time.
Yeah, so did I.
People would grab
Hey,
my
listen to
wrist
this.
and go like, oh
Listen
my
to
God,
this.
you need to
There
have
was
a
a girl in our
burger.
middle school who like disappeared for like a year because nobody knew why. And then when she came back, it was like rumored. And I was friends with this girl. It was rumored that she had an eating disorder. And one of a girl who was friends with her and also friends with me, told me that that it was because of me, because of how skinny I was. And I was like 12. I was like 12.
So she's blaming her sickness on
lying
you?
because this girl was a little bit psycho and whatever. But, and I was also friends with that girl, but it was so weird. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that information as a 12-year-old girl? And then also at a sleepover, an older girl who I like thought she was like cool and so pretty looked at me in front of all the girls and went, so are you like anorexic? And I was like,
my God.
no.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, people would say that all the time to me.
When
I don't think they even understood like the like impact of saying that to someone.
No, when I was in
what it meant.
skincare school, being an esthetician, we would just do facials, and Dad's sisters came and they came up to me about one of them. I can't remember which one it was, and said, "Does she have an eating disorder?" And I was like, "No, she's just thin. They're just thin. They're naturally thin. They're healthy."
Well, it's
I would
like
get
even
so angry at
when
it.
I look at pictures of myself as a kid, I was like, okay, I did look a little bit sickly, but like that was just my body. That was literally.
No, we were just
Even
very
still now
tiny. Like I was
on like my TikTok, I'll get so many comments about my body, and it's like people just need to not comment on other people's bodies, no matter what. Because you never know. And everybody's struggling with their body in their own way. And it's just like, just don't.
Well, they would weigh us in middle school gym class. And then I
Why did
remember
they do
it was
that?
my turn to get on this scale, and everyone's
Why?
like looking at it because they were so curious how much I weighed. I weighed like 89 pounds.
Oh my
or less, like
God.
79 in middle school.
I was in elementary school. I remember I had a card. You could get like these ID cards. I forget what they were for like, can you remember what that was for like safety?
In elementary school?
Like scan in.
Oh, I still have them.
You could
the
pay
scan
for
card.
them. No, it wasn't to scan in yet. Elementary school. It was like
I have them. They look like little ID
kids.
Oh, it's for
cards.
school lunches.
No, it was for safety thing, like the
I don't remember
safety thing
that.
you could do, like an ID card for a kid in case something happened. Anyway, mine, I think I was in like, I don't know, somewhere between 2nd and 5th grade, and it said I was like 39 pounds or something. You know how light that is?
Oh my God, that's like a baby.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
It's like a
look at the one
toddler.
I have. I think I have Kennedy's in my
I
safe.
also was
tiny. I was wearing like literally.
Claudia, we were also
Yeah.
definitely
toddler
picky
clothes.
eaters, but
Yeah,
like what
for a
kid
long time.
isn't? What
Claudia was all head.
I
You were
wasn't.
all head. Your head probably weighed 20 and your body weighed 19.
I was
gonna say, though,
not
like, I
picky.
feel like a
I would
lot
eat
of-
anything back even as a kid.
white kids in America are picky eaters. Like we grew up eating very much white people food.
I wasn't.
I mean, look at the school lunches in America.
and that was
Chicken
the thing.
nuggets, macaroni, chicken
That was
patties.
the thing is
milk
like
pizza.
I definitely didn't eat enough as a kid because I hated the school lunches, but we were so poor that I had to get school lunch. It was like the government issued ones, right? Like we didn't even pay for it.
Yeah.
But I would get it
Yeah.
and I would eat
Yeah.
the roll of bread and the butter and then everything else I wouldn't touch because I was so disgusted by it. It was so gross.
It was so unhealthy. Like,
Oh my
I can't
God.
even believe how unhealthy like kids
like,
are.
why would
eating
they
these
serve,
lunches.
like,
because we did
Jell-O
that
with, like,
video where we
canned
retried
fruit
it and
in
it
it.
was all f***ing gross.
Nasty.
Well, I was talking to Kate about this because when you're a kid, you don't think about this. But remember,
Yeah.
we get like Yoplait yogurts. I would eat a ton of those. Each one has like 30 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
So you eat 4 of those,
Yeah.
I
and
was
it's
thinking about
literally
how we
eating a
did
bucket
that
of
video,
sugar.
and by the end we were like, so we're going to donate to Maryland Food Bank. Because it was so bad.
It's horrible.
It is terrible. It's all
so bad.
chemicals too. It's like it has to have.
Yeah,
so
and
many
we also ate
preservatives in it to
Wendy's
keep
all the
it fresh.
time and Pizza
and it's just sad
Bowlies.
because. Oh come on, Wendy's was good.
Okay, yes, but
That
if
was
you think
good.
about like a child's balanced diet, like we never had like vegetables.
No.
Like
Mom would take
cucumbers,
lettuce on your
broccoli.
sandwiches?
things like
She
that.
would make broccoli. What was it called? Broccoli rob? Was that what we would call it? Where she would chop it up. She would take broccoli,
No,
cook
no,
it until it was
That's
soft,
good.
chop it up, and put like 3 spoonfuls of butter in it. And
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that's the only
good,
way you
though.
guys would eat it. And
it was
salt.
good,
It was
but that's
That's the only way you would eat it. I mean, I'm gonna get these vegetables down them if I have to.
which is funny because now I love vegetables and I eat them. I love
liked
eating
it.
them.
I know.
Yeah, same. That's like
Yeah.
what I go for. Do you have anything else, Claude?
I have something. I was so shocked because my cholesterol has been so high all of my life. Shockingly, it's genetic. Brandon has it too. We get it from my dad, and my numbers were always super high. They were like, at least without medicine, they were almost, I don't know if you guys know, but almost 600.
Oh,
Yeah. And now it's like changed and stuff. But because of the supplements that Brandon told me to take, it's actually the lowest it's ever been.
Well,
right
you
now.
have also
And
been
exercising.
way more
Yeah, I'm
active
exercising
than
a
you
lot.
used to be.
Yeah.
So now all your blood work
I'm
is like
proud of
perfect.
you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, Mom.
Good job,
Well,
Mom.
perfect for me. The cholesterol's a little, yeah, me too. Thank you. And I've cut cheese a little bit out more.
Good.
So I'm not eating as much cheese.
Good.
good.
You're gonna live
Yeah.
until you're 400 years old.
I hope not.
Why?
Unless I was a
having this
vampire.
conversation with at dad's where it's like I think it'd be so cool if
Ew,
everyone could
I
live
don't
to like
want that.
200, 250.
I do not.
Yeah, no, not really.
Because I don't
Why does no one
want to
want
live
that?
in this world.
I would do it if I
I don't
was a
want to live in this
vampire
world
because
that
then
long.
you don't age.
Brandon, I literally spend
You don't have
every
enough
day
time?
trying to escape from reality as much as I possibly can. Why would I want to continue living here?
Why? There's so many
I don't
experiences
care.
that you haven't had yet.
Can
and
you
you don't have
freeze
enough
your age?
time. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
You
if
don't
you
have
could
enough
freeze
time
your
to
age.
compact it into just like 80 years of life.
If I could freeze my age, I would do that.
Well, think about this. It's not, let's say you live till 80. There's going to be like 20 of those years where you're like, can't really do as much as you could when you were active and like younger.
Listen, Jesse's grandfather is 92 years old.
And he's great.
He still drives. He drives in the dark.
Good genetics.
Him and his wife's 80, he's 92, drove themselves all the way down to Disneyland,
Damn.
had their vacation.
That's why they're happy.
and drove back.
They're happy.
Well, you probably know why. Because if you have really low cortisol levels, which is from anxiety, you age slower and you live longer. So maybe he just had a really relaxed life. And because of
don't
that,
know.
he can do more stuff
I
when he's
think
older.
that if people suppress things that are going on within them and around them, that is going to make them sick. It will age them. It will give them diseases.
I agree.
That's what I think.
Well, his grandfather is actually like so interesting. We saw him this weekend, so he was telling us about it. He played baseball when he was younger, and I think it was, what's the New York baseball team? The Mets?
Yankees.
Or the Yankees? What's the Mets?
Yeah, who's the Mets?
basketball.
Mets is also,
Yeah, I'm not into
Baseball.
sports either, so.
I don't
But
know.
the
What's the
Yankees-
Mets, Cory? No one knows
Okay.
anything about sports
Anyway,
here.
whatever. Yeah, it was the Yankees. So he tried out for the Yankees and he hadn't heard anything back in like a few weeks or something. So he also got offered a position playing baseball in the Navy, I think. He ended up accepting that. It was a really good deal, a lot of money from it, whatever. He ended up going and playing. When he got back from, I don't know how long it was that he was away with the Navy, but when he got back, he had gotten letters from the Yankees accepting him. And he missed the opportunity because he was in the Navy.
Shit.
He needs a cell phone.
And he obviously he didn't have it back then. But it was like too far past whatever. But he said he doesn't regret it because he was like, he got made like a lot of money in the Navy and he like really enjoyed it, whatever. But how crazy, he would have been playing for the Yankees if he.
Wait, is that
That's
what he
wild.
did? He played
Accepted
for the Navy. Is that what he retired after that?
I don't remember if he like what other jobs he had after, but I mean he's like a veteran, I guess, because he was in the Navy with playing baseball. I don't know how long he played for. I didn't ask Jesse like what else he ever did.
I think it's fun to talk to old people. Like
Definitely.
a lot of people are super like ageist. You know what
I
ageist
wouldn't.
is?
Yeah, no.
Ageist.
Like against
No.
aging.
I thought you said age.
Like they don't
Relatable.
like old people.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, they
what?
think they like stink and are like not useful. But I think like old people are like the most
think they
useful,
stink.
wise people ever. So it's,
Yeah.
it's fun to sit down and talk to them.
useful. That's insane.
That's just mean.
Yeah, it's mean.
That's what it is,
Also,
though.
when I was in nursing school and I had to go to like work at a it wasn't a retirement home. It was kind of just like not a rehab facility, something like that. I don't want to say it's an old age home because that's not what it was for.
Mm-hmm.
Assisted living, that's what it was. I feel like everyone, all of the patients and like people that live there, whatever, they all have like, they're just like so wise. And I feel like everyone treats older people almost like babies, like as if they're like
Yeah.
stupid or something. Like they don't
Exactly.
know, like they talk to them differently than they would like anyone else. But in reality, like they know more than you do. And
Right.
they're like, they are so wise. They lived in times that we didn't.
Well, in most cultures that aren't like Western culture, old
Yeah.
people are respected more than anyone else because they're the wise ones who pass
Yeah.
down
Right.
the knowledge to the next generation.
Right.
But I
and
just-
our generation,
It's only the
is
Americans.
is so like everyone just cares about themselves so much, and everyone's so narcissistic nowadays that no one like appreciates any
obviously,
wisdom from older people.
Even in that generation, there's going to be like there's people that aren't great, you know, that like they might not give the best advice. They might not have, you know, done the greatest things in life. But I feel like for the most part, if you're talking to someone that's a lot older than you, like Jesse's grandfather, for example, they can teach you so much, like their values about life and the things that they've learned for being like, I've been alive 27 years. He's been alive 92
It's
years.
way more experience.
It's insane.
Yeah. Also, things have changed so much since then.
It doesn't matter, but there's certain
Does
things.
he have a cell phone?
There's certain things that will always be the same. Like, yes, technology has changed.
Yeah.
But like the way humans interact with each other has not changed. It's just amplified with technology.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's funny because his wife is not Jesse's mom's mom. He remarried when she passed away. But it's funny because everything she was saying, I was like, this is literally me. Like Jesse's grandfather is him and she's me. Like she was saying like she loves sweets, like sugar's like her weakness, and that's like me too. Like I eat everything sweet. But also she was saying she like loves to clean. Like she was like telling us how she was sick and she was like, I couldn't do more than one load of laundry at a time, and like I like to have a clean house and this and that. And I was like, that's literally me. Like you are
Really?
me.
Wasn't this weekend.
Enough.
I walked in and their bathroom trash cans were
have
overpiled.
time.
Looked like they were throwing trash on the floor. I had to clean everything.
I didn't have time.
I was like, wow.
do it before I left.
That's what I said. I said, they must not have any time to clean up before they left.
Well, also we don't.
And they knew I would do it.
No, I
how
don't.
shaky
I
you
don't
are
I do
right
that
now.
sometimes.
I couldn't leave it like
yeah,
that.
it's making
Because you
me
had
feel like I gotta
coffee.
jump off the
I
walls.
probably am too. I'm cracked out.
Okay, wait,
Do you
but-
guys ever imagine yourselves when you're like really old? Do you
No.
ever do that? Does it make you
Yes.
scared or
I'm not
scared?
gonna lie.
Or you're like, I'm
we
good.
were watching a movie last night and there was like a really old person in it, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about like looking in the mirror and seeing someone that old.
Why do you think I'm addicted to like my
Like I just really
cosmetic
don't.
procedures?
I don't
Not
want to be
tons of
like
them,
I
but,
think
like,
of
old. Maybe that will change, but
I think of
Me
it like
either.
this. When I was like, okay, for example, when I was 18, I'd be like, I love how I look. I don't want to look any older than this. I don't want to get any older. But then you get older and now I'm 27. I would never want to be who I was when I was 18 again. I would never want to look like that again. Like, yes, maybe in that moment I loved it, but now I love who I am right now. And I feel like once you get every phase of life you get into, as long as you're living it like the way that you want and doing things that make you happy, you're always going to love that version of yourself in that moment more than you loved. Like Mom, when you think about being 21 again, would you want to be 21?
No, I wouldn't want to be 21. I like where I am, but there are
Exactly.
people I went to school with that they would want to be younger.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As long as you live your fulfilled life, you do the things that make you feel good. You do
Right.
you wear the clothes that make you feel you're like the best version of yourself. Like you're always just going to be content and happy living in that moment with who you
I
are.
like where I am. I would freeze where I am right now.
Well, right now in time will always be the youngest that you always are. So
Well,
1 second goes, oh,
obviously.
you're older. You're older. You're older.
Okay, so before we finish, we'll finish it with this. We're gonna play.
Thanks.
We're gonna do a little round of Am I the?
Oh, what is
Wait,
that?
what?
So basically, people submit stories on threads of Am I the? And they tell the story.
That's funny
and
because
you have
this-
to just like basically.
this is a super
determine based
popular
on the situation.
subreddit, but we're so anti-Reddit on this podcast.
It started on subreddit.
Well, I did get it from Reddit, so anyway. All right, the first one. Her son is 3 years old. My son's grandfather tried to gift him an inappropriate gift. Before Christmas, my 28-year-old, I hate how they do this because it makes it hard. So she's a 28-year-old female. Before Christmas, my father, who's a 51-year-old male, bought my son a scooter for Christmas. The gift was fine with myself and my husband. Her husband's 30. The problem I'm having is after he got the scooter, he removed the original grip tape and added grip tape with an inappropriate photo on it. I'll attach the photo below. I explained to his grandfather that I was uncomfortable giving my toddler a toy with a picture as risque as the one placed. He did not respond well to this and went off on me about how he is the child's grandparent and should be able to act like one. He has also texted my husband to question him on his sexuality, saying, I'm trying to understand my daughter. I don't know. I'll post a few of the messages between us, but I ultimately ended the messaging because I felt I was talking to a brick wall. He wouldn't listen. Last week he sent me a text. I'll attach that at the end of the photos. I've decided to go no contact with him. Everyone I've asked said I'm not that.
I already know she's not.
What's the picture? I need to see it.
No, the picture is literally like a anime photo of like a woman with huge boobs and like a bra on for a 3-year-old.
No, that's ridiculous.
I say expose them as young as
Like,
possible.
why did he put that on there?
I can see a guy doing that of that not that age, because that's like my age in a way, but like somebody like who's scared that their grandson or something is going to be one way, like they're
so anti-gay. They're so They're so anti-gay that they want to.
Yeah. I didn't know how to say it without it being and also whatever.
Even if the picture wasn't
that's
that bad,
the problem.
It's her child. She's the parent. She can do whatever she wants. If she says, "I don't want my kid to have this scooter,"
right,
then I think that's completely up to her.
Yeah, I agree.
Why doesn't she just take the scooter and take the grip tape off?
Because
and put
clearly
the
her
normal grip
dad
tape back
is.
on?
Yeah.
Well, because it's weird that he even gave. So the whole purpose. It's not about the scooter. It's about the fact that she went no contact with her dad because he seems like a weirdo.
Yeah, but her dad might just have that personality, and it's impossible to change him. So you're just like, thanks, and then you replace
still,
it.
the point is that she's not and that's what she wants.
Regardless, imagine
on.
dad getting my 3-year-old son,
Brandon,
with like a woman.
We should make a thing that
I feel like we would laugh.
Stephanie Sue would do this in her videos, and it was so entertaining. People submit like things they need advice for or just crazy stories, and we read them and talk about them. We should do that for people who watch this.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
that's a good
what if
idea.
we have people submit?
Yeah, Rhett and Link also do. They have a number that people can call and leave voicemails.
If it's organized like that, me and Deb used to do that. It would just be kind of hard because you have to like sort
the
through
voicemail thing.
The voicemail thing could be a good idea.
If it was like a voicemail or like a Google form.
I just like hearing people's voice and like hearing it from them.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for refusing to cover my scar and wearing a bikini as it triggered my friend? And let me read the story. I, a 24-year-old female, had a cancer scare a few years back, and I had a biopsy done on my upper leg. The scar has faded now, but it is still fairly noticeable, about 7 centimeters long. Thankfully, it was only a scare. Nothing came of it. For a while, I was insecure about it and stopped wearing skirts or tight leggings where you could see the outline of the scar. But now that I've accepted it's going to be there, I started to wear whatever and realized nobody cares about it apart from the odd question. We went to the beach yesterday as a friend group and I wore a bikini. I was excited to get a tan, and my friend Anna brought her other friend, Dana, 25-year-old female. I've met her before, but I don't know her very well. However, I do know she started a fundraiser for her mom who's fighting cancer right now. Dana's family situation is quite difficult as her dad passed away recently and her mom has stage 4 and Dana is juggling a lot. I came earlier than Anna and Dana, so I was already in my bikini when they joined us, and Dana was nice to me and asked about my new job. Then Anna went to say hi to the others, and Dana mentioned my scar and recognized it was a biopsy. She asked if I could wear a beach cover up, and it was triggering to her and insensitive of me as I know her mom is going through it right now. I said, no, I'm here to get a tan and the cover up will ruin that. And Dana didn't say anything but didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. Today, Anna texted me telling me Dana told her what happened, and while she agrees Dana's comment was weird, I should have given her a free pass as she's not in the best place mentally right now. I said it was really weird, and no, I wouldn't. I genuinely don't think I'm in the wrong and think she's being really weird about the situation. Obviously, if I'm in the wrong, I will apologize.
Damn, I see both sides on that one, but I think it's wrong.
No, the other girl, the girl's
no.
man. You should never.
She is
don't care the situation. You should never control what somebody's doing or wearing.
The thing is, if she's going through something like that, she shouldn't have gone out like that. She should just deal with what's happening. No, she is, but I still understand, like, if you don't take it personally and you know what she's going through, it's like she's going through her own trauma of what her mother is going through.
But also,
so it's like it is triggering for her, but she shouldn't be there.
Saying that, it's like she's invalidating all of the struggles that the girl with the scar went through, because that took her
right, and that's the other side of it. So I understand that.
To get to that place, and not saying that it's the same thing at all, but as somebody who had a severe skin condition, like, I'm still working through things of like I was so weird with my
exactly. So I feel
was
like
so weird with my body and with
they're
touching
just
everything,
two individual people.
Like, it's so hard, and for someone to, like, I understand that you can't make your issues in your life, even if they are horrible and traumatic, you can't make it other people's issues. I hope that doesn't sound super insensitive, but it's just kind of true.
No, it doesn't. No,
because-
everybody should deal with their
she
own.
went through that. It's her body that she had to struggle with to get confident enough to want to wear a bikini, and then someone else is basically telling her, "Can you cover that up?" It's like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
triggering
the
me.
rude part
You know
of
how
it.
offended and upset I would feel if that was me.
That's terrible.
Like someone telling you to cover yourself because
Right.
it's like I get the woman.
Well, she's not saying cover yourself because it looks bad. She's saying she was thinking
Yes,
in
but
her
it's-
own mind.
it's triggering
So I
her.
understand the triggering part, but
But
I
also-
understand the girl that wants to feel free.
Okay, but
and happy
from the
herself.
other perspective, if it was triggering me, I would simply
You just get up
maybe
and leave.
sit- I would sit
Yeah.
a little bit further
Exactly.
away. I wouldn't look in that direction as
Right.
much.
Right. Not
Like,
say anything.
it's
to
on
the
her
girl.
leg. You don't have
Right.
to stare at it.
Right. Exactly.
It's not like it's on her face.
Yeah. No, that's fucked up.
I think just don't be around each other. Problem solved, man.
Well, they didn't know each other until that day.
Oh,
They just met.
well, yeah. Close your
So-
eyes. Wear some.
Go to the other side of the beach.
Yeah, literally. Just like go sit somewhere else. Go talk to someone else.
But I think somebody like that should recognize, like, so I'm reading this book and it's really interesting called Let It Go. And in that case, you need to recognize before you open your mouth of the feelings that you're feeling and why you're feeling it. And then deep down, usually it's caused from fear. And if you approach that within yourself, you're able to kind of deal with it, face it,
I think
let it go.
there's
That's what it's
also a
called, let it
chance
go.
though that the
and
girl
then you
who
don't
said
say
something,
anything.
you know, when you're in such a bad place, you do things that aren't yourself or whatever. There's a chance that in a couple of years or whatever, she may look back and be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that." So it's just like being a human being
Yeah.
is really hard sometimes all around.
You just need to be aware all the time, which is
Yeah.
really hard to do as a human.
All right, well, are we wrapping it up?
Yep.
No,
you are staying for another hour. Tell Scarlett to come in and say hi.
That was
We-
good
we
though.
need-
She's at the
The way you
coffee
did
shop.
that.
What do you mean she's not here?
The way
She
you
was
planned
talking
it
to
was
her
good.
mom.
Yeah. See,
She's talking
She
to
went
her
to the
mom.
coffee shop on her own.
that's how you plan a
Oh.
podcast.
Oh my God! Of course.
No, that
Claudia,
felt
there you
better. I
go.
think we
it's
should-
good. It was
I planned
definitely
a few
better.
good ones. Oh, it was better. Oh. Well,
I think if we make this more
podcast
interactive
was
and open it up to
I
like
admit
just
it.
think you
viewers,
weren't-
I
your
think
head wasn't in
could
it.
Be more helpful and fun, and we've talked
Yeah,
about
I
ourselves
agree. And I
enough.
like that anyway.
Let's
because I
open it
like
up.
hearing people's opinions.
What are your guys' thoughts on maybe in the future having like a
I'm-
Patreon so we can actually make money doing this?
I think that's cool.
Where maybe we go for an extra 20
I don't know.
minutes
Let's talk about that at a different time.
or something.
I'm supportive.
You're supportive.
Right. I love you guys.
Okay, bye guys. Thank you so
Love
much
you,
for
bye.
watching. We'll
See ya.
see you next time.
Love you, Kennedy.
Bye,
Bye,
Kennedy.
you. Bye.
Goodbye.